your competition. Where did I leave off and kind of get lost in this? Did you get any of my answer in there?
Um, it froze at as we start to diet down.
Good.
I won't get stronger.
Here's the mental aspect. I don't want to tell you that, and then you go in the gym, you're like, ah, I'm supposed to get weaker. Forget about it, right? Again, it's a
No, no,
balance.
no, no,
Each,
no.
yeah, I know that's not you, but there are clients who just push so hard, and as they diet down, their joints start to dry out, their muscle is very, very, very weak, and they get hurt. So it's kind of a balance. What I will say is this: if I see that we need to pull the reins back, I will. But generally, as you start to diet down, the body fat starts to dwindle down. You start to have less energy. It's less about this idea of you're building muscle and more of holding on to what you got. You should always train hard. But I generally say anywhere from 4 to 6 weeks out, we start looking at maybe changing volume, pulling some things. But like Chance, I don't know if you saw on this call, but I was with him the last week. Like this dude can go balls to the wall. Ego wise, I don't know what half speed is or half strength is, right? I'm sure you don't either. So like I still go balls to the wall, but again, the goal should be to just prevent injury because you're way more susceptible to injury at that point. Does that make sense?
Yes, sir.
All right. Sammy P, going along with insulin, what is the ideal range to be for your A1C? So it's kind of subjective. For you guys who don't know what A1C is, it is so you have your blood glucose, which you can test, which is literally like how much blood sugar is in your blood at that moment. Okay, that's your blood glucose. Hemoglobin A1C is an average of the last 3 months because your blood cells have a lifespan of 3 months. Pretty sure it's 3 months ish. So it's testing the amount of blood in the mature blood or the amount of sugar in the mature blood cells. So that's why hemoglobin A1C is a lot better of a marker of what your blood sugar is because it's an average over the last 3 months versus blood sugar. The blood glucose, like you can check it now after fasting, it could be low, but you could be very overweight, or you could just eat a crazy meal and like your fast and your blood sugar's through the roof and you think you have diabetes. Okay. So that's to give you guys a background on what hemoglobin A1C is. The ideal range, there's reference ranges. Again, reference ranges when it comes to blood work is just like they do it based off of population. So if like out of 1,000 people, everyone's unhealthy, they create a range from that. Like you could be within range, but you're unhealthy, right? So I would say take their ranges with a grain of salt. I think in the middle, 5.5 to about 5.3, the lower the better. Always the lower the better. Um, but it kind of just depends on where you're at, right? There's some people who genetically who just have more of have a more of a predisposition to having higher blood sugar. Like they might be pre-diabetic even when they're lean, right? So it kind of just depends. So to answer your question, you want to keep it as low as possible. I would say in the lower 5.5 point whatever's is the ideal ish range, but it depends person to person. Does that answer your question, Sammy? And you can just message a yes or no, just so I know we're on the right track. All right. So, what other questions we got? Who wants to pop in and ask something? You guys are asking freaking killer questions. Anyone else? Don't be
Um,
okay. What we got?
what would be your top three supplements to buy? I think the only one I bought really so far is the apple cider vinegar.
Mhm.
Um, I, yeah. What else would be like your top three if you just like needed to buy?
Absolutely. First and foremost is going to be a multivitamin because you're no matter what, even if I was feeding you triple, you're not going to get all the essential nutrients, minerals, and vitamins that you're going to need. That's just a gimme. Even a one a day is good. Okay. Getting more nuance than that, any other vitamins or minerals that I give you, especially generally, are because even a multivitamin is not going to give you enough. Like vitamin D3, like most people are not getting enough of it. So, but to answer it, first one will be a multivitamin. Easy. Second, I would say would be an argument for it, but creatine monohydrate. I'm sure I can give you guys a whole class on what creatine is. If you want me to do that, I put that in the group chat. Be like, hey, Ian, I would benefit from knowing everything about creatine. I will literally teach a class on it. But creatine essentially, it has zero side effects. Okay, it is the most studied supplement on the market. It's not guaranteed because some people just can't digest excess creatine. Creatine actually is in all red meats and fish, but it's going to help you push harder. It's going to help you be stronger, put on muscle a little bit more. And it's a natural supplement. It's not going to make you lose your hair or mess with your hormones or anything. So that's the kind of down and dirty on creatine. I have no problem going more in depth. So we talked about multivitamin, creatine. From here, I would say it's kind of like dealer's choice. Fish oil is a very, very strong one. It's going to help with anti-inflammation inside the body, heart health, skin health. I think magnesium is a huge one. Magnesium is going to help relax the muscles. It's going to help with a ton of different calming aspects. Frank talked about stress. Cheers said, I love mine. It's the best. Frank talked about stress. Magnesium will help relax you in the physical aspect. It also is an extremely important mineral. Zinc is another one. Zinc is going to help with testosterone production. It's going to help with your immune system. It's going to help you with sleep. So I'm kind of throwing a lot out of there. If I had to say top three, I know I suck at these short questions. Multivitamin, creatine, protein powder, or fish oil probably would be it. My bad, bro. Cool. What else we got? Excellent question. What are some of your personal favorite choices to curb cravings? Good seasoning, sauces, and cooking. So if you go into school on the additional resources and documents, my fiance actually put a little document on how to cook certain things, ice cubes. I actually put some cooking hacks in there. I'm a big mustard guy. If you guys ever see my content on my stories, I'm always eating mustard. Let's see. I would say be careful. This is a good conversation to have. Be careful with the artificial sweeteners and stuff, because you got to think about it this way. When you give your body something sweet, it's still going to think it's getting something sweet. There's just no nutritional value. So it's like, oh my God, this sweet, this diet soda or this gum or this whatever, like it's so sweet. I love sweet. Sweet usually means energy, whatever, right? But you're not getting any nutrients. So your body just craves it more and more and more. So I used to drink diet sodas. Ask my fiance one day if she ever hops on the group chat. I used to drink probably like 4 a day. Bad. And what I noticed is now that I don't drink them, I don't ever crave them. So there is a kind of give and take with that. I love fruit, high volumes of fruit, strawberries, watermelon, things of that nature. Big time. It's got good fiber, good micronutrients. It's got decent amount of carbohydrates, not going overboard. And it also doesn't spike your insulin. Fructose doesn't do it the same way that glucose would. Do a lot out you, but I would say sauces, how you cook stuff, fruit and veggies. Sounds boring as hell, but it is what it is. Are you starving over there, Victor? Is that why? What else we got? Any other questions?
Yo, coach, so is there any activities you should avoid that like lower testosterone, and is there any like natural things you should be doing to like maintain slash increase testosterone?
At your age, bro, that shit should be revving at max capacity. If you're not, and I would just suggest for you to get blood work anyway. We can see where you're at. Talk to your dad, and I can go over all that with you.
Yeah.
But
coach, I don't have any like body hair, like armpit hair.
Dude, I didn't get body hair or armpit hair till I was, I think, 17 or 18, dude. I was a late bloomer. And then now all I got is this pedophile mustache. So that's all I got. Your future's not looking brighter than mine.
Me too.
So what activities would lower testosterone? High stress. Remember, I talked about cortisol, overtraining, so working out too much, not sleeping enough, not eating enough. Okay? Those are going to be the big ones. How can you raise testosterone? Guess what? Do the opposite of what I just said. Keep the stress low, sleep more, weight train within reason, adequate nutrition, and just overall mental state. If any of you guys ever want to know how to get blood work or where to get blood work from, or want me to read your blood work, please, I actually like going over blood work, and I will teach it to you. It's like problem solving for me. It's like Legos as a kid. Okay. Frank, I'm going to hop into a couple other questions here in the chat. We got a really good one. Victor, I'm going to go to Yuli's question, and then I'm going to go to yours. Okay. So Yuli asked, and there's no such thing as TMI. I literally asked you what your poop is like on your questionnaire. So if you want to describe it to me, I'm not going to be grossed out.
I'm actually going to ask you.
Is someone talking?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, my bad. How am I coming? Am I coming in broken? Petey, can you give me a thumbs up? I know you're usually good with my connection piece. Okay, cool. Thank you, Frank. So how heavy should your training be when you're on your period? Again, sorry, Yuli, the best answer I can give, it depends, right? It really depends on someone's cycle. So what happens through the normal cycle, progesterone rises, right? Estrogen kind of takes a little bit of a rise as well, and then we'll actually counteract the progesterone. And that drastic change in progesterone to estrogen causes different effects. So someone who does not have such high progesterone rise is not going to have as hard of PMS symptoms and just flow symptoms and all those sorts of things. It's all dependent. What I will say is every woman goes through it. So here's the beautiful thing about it, though. We know if you have a regular cycle, right? Let's just call it 28 days. It kind of depends, right? Depending on the person, but generally should be about 28. If we know that, let's say that last week is the toughest week, well, every single month we're going to know that's the toughest week. So we compare that tough week to another tough week. There's no sense in comparing a non-menstrual cycle week to one where it's really heavy and painful because we already know we're at a disadvantage. As far as how heavy you should train, do what you can. If you need to take a longer rest time, take a longer rest time. If it is just so overwhelming that all you're doing is causing pain and discomfort, take a day off and we'll take it again the next day. It's just all very subjective, and I want you to feel like you can ask me in real time when those situations arise what you should do. But there are ways that we can talk about this to help mitigate that as well. Especially, like the heavier your flow is, the more iron deficient you're going to be. There's just different things that we could talk about. But yeah, Yuli, at the end of the day, it's kind of sucky in a way to say like, there's no like perfect answer, but in a way, it is perfect. It's perfect for you. Whatever you can accomplish is a win.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, beautiful question. Thank you for asking that one. Victor asked on the importance of cardio selection, thought of using sprints or running as a cardio choice. So this is a good question, and I'm glad we're addressing this here too. Cardio for 99% of you is just a tool to help with digestion, to help with blood sugar control, and to help burn calories. When you raise the intensity of the cardio, like something like sprinting, you bring a lot more fatigue and stress. We don't want the stress and fatigue to come from cardio. We want it to come from anywhere, if anything, from the weight training. So if, for instance, you're doing, hill sprints for 30 minutes on one of the days during the week, it is going to hamper not just your training that's coming after it, but also if you train legs a day or two before, you're also hampering the recovery with that. So yes, it does make a difference. I don't like any of my clients running or doing sprints or anything like that unless they have to for their job. If you don't have an endurance or performance goal, I like everything about your program to be designed for the body fat and fat loss, or the body fat, the muscle gain, and the health perspective of the goals. Okay, so hopefully that makes sense. But yes, the more intense, like actually Frank, this is a good piece for him. He plays soccer. Okay, on his check-in, I was like, there's no way in hell you at your age is not going balls to the wall with soccer. I told him, hey, just understand that your output from that soccer will affect other things. Now, you're young, you recover fast, it might not. But the more stress and activity you put your body through at a higher intensity, it is going to act in a way as your weight training, and it could affect other things, and it'll add to that pie, that stress pie. All right, Taylor's got a question. How to deal with two different goals. Example, for performance on PFT, TFT, height and weight standards, and trying to commit full-time to bodybuilding. This is a great question. So to give you guys some context, there are 2 fitness tests every year for the military. Well, at least the Marine Corps, okay? They have 2 different fitness tests that they have to do. Taylor's asking if he's trying to be a bodybuilder, right, and put on as much muscle as possible, but he has to accomplish a good score on these tests. How does he balance the two? I went through that personally. Rudy, I know my man over here went through it. There's a few other in here that have gone through that as well. So what I say is this: it can be done, but again, it's how well we can implement just enough to get done for you to maximize what you need to do on that test, but everything else, right? So like, should you be running 3 miles every single day if you never ran before? No. Should you be maxing out on pull-ups every time you see a pull-up bar every single day, in addition to weight training? No. So it's like, it is possible, but that's exactly why me as a coach, I ask you what those goals are. So that way I can implement your plan week to week. There's no black and white answer for you, my man. It's really just how to balance maximizing your muscle gain, but also making sure that you can improve and do well on your fitness test. So with that being said, anytime you have those sorts of questions, or any of you guys in here who have those goals, it's like, oh, I want to run a marathon, or I want to run a triathlon. Leo this morning, he's like, dude, this guy's gung ho. He wants to put on muscle, but he's also like training for triathlons. I'm like, hey man, it's possible. You just got to understand, one goal will sort of pull from the other. You might not gain muscle as fast, right? So that's what you guys got to understand. Like, everybody has a 100%. It's kind of like life. Like, if you put 100% of all your energy and time into a relationship, you're probably gonna have a really good relationship, but your business might suffer, your social life might suffer. So how you allocate and where you put things matters. But yes, I will help you allocate as much as you can to what's important. What other questions we got? Excellent questions today, guys.
I have one for you.
Sammy P, what's up?
When it comes to lifting weights, you know how like on there it'll say like the first set 10, 12 reps. Do you recommend staying in that range? Or would you prefer like I push myself to like failure every set with like my max weight?
Very good question. For all of you guys who are newer, if you go to the working sets video in your onboarding class, I kind of describe a little bit more. Sammy's been working with me for almost 6 months now, so I updated that video since then. But to answer your question, yeah, your goal is within that rep range to get to failure. Okay, and failure is very subjective, right? There's different types of failure. I actually talked about it in the earlier class. But your goal is to say you have 10 to 12 reps. That's your working set. You should pick a weight that you will fail within that. Now, let's say you pick a weight and you get to rep 12 and you still got gas in the tank. Go to 13, go to 14, go to 15, whatever it is that stops. You just know for next time that you need to go a heavier weight to fail within that 10 to 12. Now, on the flip side, you might pick a weight and you're going rep 7. And you're like, oh, I'm dead. I couldn't even get to 10. That's fine. You still got the failure. You still got stimulating reps. You still created that signal to grow. You just know for next time, let's probably go a little bit higher. Now, I will say this to give you guys some science. You can build muscle with rep ranges anywhere from 5 reps to 30 reps, even more sometimes. So you guys might be asking, well, why is it 10 to 12 reps? Why is it 15 to 18? Truthfully, I designed my rep ranges for you based off of what the exercise is, what your experience is, and how much weight you're moving. If somebody's just learning to exercise, like if I tell them 5 to 6 reps, like they're going to go so heavy and they're not even going to be able to execute the exercise correctly. So I'd rather give them a slightly higher rep range so that way they can get more good practice reps. In addition, smaller muscle groups are not going to do, like imagine doing a like two reps set for a bicep curl with like as heavy as you can go. Like you're probably going to tear your shit. So it's also like injury mitigation. Again, anywhere from 5 to 30 reps, you can build muscle. That's why if you go over or under, it's not the end of the world. I just create those rep ranges and manipulate them for what I think is best for your experience level and how you're executing the exercises. Does that make sense, Sammy?
Yes, it does. Thank you. I kind of wanted to make sure I was doing it right because like if I've been doing it wrong this whole time.
No, again, it's so subjective. Again, science is not the end all be all. Okay, science is kind of just the backbone of where you want to start. But yeah, if your rep range is 10 to 12 and you do 7 or you do 18, like no, it's not the end of the world. But it is also important because you want to keep within a certain rep range so that way you can scale up or down depending on that. See, what other questions we got?
Okay, thank you.
No problem, Sammy. What other questions we got? Going once. Going twice. It's probably lagging if someone's asking a question as I'm counting down. All right. Last second. Anyone got a final question? 3, 2, 1. Oh, okay.
Yo,
good.
coach,
Yeah, what's up, Frank?
you want to come to my competition next year
Where's it gonna be at?
in Venice? In
Venice?
Venice Beach.
All right. What time frame? I'll actually be in California for my wedding in July next year. So maybe we'll aim for a time frame
Labor
around
Day.
there. Okay.
like around Labor Day. Yeah.
Okay, let's talk about it. Let's definitely talk about it. It's a little too far in advance for me to commit to where I'm going to be, but I would absolutely love
Yeah,
to,
but
to be a part of your show.
just wanted to send out an invite.
Received, and I will RSVP ASAP. And I'll probably be in prep in that time. I'll be competing late next year as well.
Cool. All right, coach.
Any other questions from anybody? Well, I just want to tell you guys this was absolutely amazing. I love seeing all you guys. I love that some of you guys know each other. I'm going to do these more often. Your questions were freaking killer. I will learn to slow down a little bit and try to find more concise answers. I just try to give you all the answers that I can and information at once. But if any of these spark questions within your mind, shoot me a message or even put in the group chat, and I will put a voice message or even record a video of me going over that stuff. So you guys absolutely crushed it. I'm so proud and happy for all of you. I'm going to put the recordings in the chat. Other than that, you guys have a beautiful evening, and it's just absolutely a pleasure working with all of you. Bye, guys.
Thanks. Bye.
See you later.
Have a good one, coach.
Thank you, coach.
See you guys.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.